Good morning, everyone. Um, I'm running a little late today. Not that that makes any difference, I guess. I'll still get the video posted today. But anyway, I'm just going to jump right in. So I'm Addison. Thank you for watching, for joining us. We're going to try to build some cool stuff. So we're looking at custom post types, particularly with advanced custom fields, the pro version, which is what I think most people use. I've used it for ages, so far back that I have a lifetime license that I think I bought for like $99. Um, Inflation's a terrible thing, isn't it? Yeah, so we're looking at advanced custom fields and GeneratePress and GenerateBlocks. And the idea is here, last week we looked at how custom fields, we did a little bit of a deep dive. We looked at how they're added to the database and how they can be fetched and things like that. And while I want to do like this kind of extensive view at how WordPress overall handles custom post types, custom fields, and all that, we're going to today look specifically at GeneratePress and GenerateBlocks and using the query loop, and which is part of GenerateBlocks, and also using Elements, which is part of GeneratePress Pro. I think I've used Pro for so long, I don't know what's not in Pro. But anyway, yeah. So GeneratePress makes life a lot easier. So we're going to go from scratch. We're going to build some ghost busting gear, like a directory, I guess. I've been doing Star Wars for so long, I thought it was time to move on to another one of my favorite childhood movie experiences. So let's do that. So I'm in WordPress. I'm on my local site, the same one that I've always been adding to. And I've gone to ACF, Advanced Custom Fields, and we're looking at post types. So we're going to start there. We're going to build a new post type. So a post type is like a bucket. It's like it's like adding a new section or a container for us to add things to that we can display on the website. I've always kind of thought of it as like we're building our own database. So we're going to use, oh goodness, we're going to use, so our custom post type is like the container, the overall container, and we're going to add custom fields. So we have like little pockets for specific bits of content for that container. So yeah, there are a lot of analogies we could use, and I'll probably use different ones, but we're going to create, so my plural label, what do I want to call this? I think I want to call it ghost gear. Now here's where I run into a problem. Like, what is the plural? The plural and the singular are the same. I wouldn't say ghost gears. So maybe just ghost gear. And I guess we're okay with that post key. Sometimes I'll prefix it with something just to keep it from conflicting with something else, a plugin post type or something like that, because plugins use lots of custom post types too. So do themes. But I don't think we're going to run into one that is ghost gear. So we'll keep it at that. We are not going to attach any taxonomies to it. We're going to stay clear of that today. We do want it to be public. We do not want it to be hierarchical like pages. It's just going to be post after post after post. They're not going to be child posts or anything like that. We do want to look at the advanced configuration because I want to noodle with some things. I do not want the editor. I do want the featured image because why not? Although we could use an image from custom fields if we'd rather, but I'm kind of always of the thought like a featured image for a post is it's kind of this built-in goodness that WordPress gives us, so why not use it? There are occasions, but I'm going to leave it for now. And honestly, I thought I'd have a gallery maybe, but I don't know. I was going to keep the custom fields a little bit simple so that we can really just look at how to output the custom post type. Sorry, I'm overthinking this. So we're going to leave featured image. We're going to leave custom fields because that, I think, is what makes our it's where our custom fields will appear. I think if we uncheck that, they will not appear. We can't give it a description. I think this is just for administrative needs. List of ghost bustin gear. We do want it to be active. So let's look at labels. So this is how it all appears in the menu. So it populates automatically once you add the plural and singular label. And I want to go down to archives, featured image. So let's say gear image. Whoa. Set gear image. Remove. And this isn't that crucial, but I like customizing everything to make it feel like this section was really created. Specifically, like the title placeholder. Add name of ghost gear item. Sure. Okay. Few more things. Let's look here. Visibility. We do want it shown in the UI. We do want it to show in the items can be, show it in the editor over here. So we can also customize the parent, so we can make this show up under something else. I always put like 5 or 6, or I can't remember. We'll do 7. And dash icons. I've never done the custom, but you certainly can. I always just pick something from here, and where's that? A ghost, right? Here's the generic gear icon, which is typically used for like options or settings. We may use that. I don't want to hold things up, but I get a little OCD about it. I like the beer stein. Or sometimes I use a carrot because just why not? Would that be cool? But that's something else. I do like that though. Yeah. Custom is probably the way to go, but it's one of those things. I don't want to say I'm lazy about it, but I don't want to say it, but I am. I figured there's so many icons here, just pick one, but then end up doing this, and it's like, oh, I deliberate, and I get anxiety over it. Maybe not anxiety. I have fun with it. That's the same one, performance icon. I kind of like that because it looks like a kind of a meter on something, like our gear. What is it? The P, and I have one of these to drop in, the PKE meter. Yeah, we might use that because why the heck not? Where'd it go? There it is. We're going to use that. Okay. So that's selected. Custom meta callbacks. PHP function to be called when setting up the meta boxes for the edit screen for security. So that's some custom programming stuff we're not going to worry about. Show in the admin bar. New in the, so we can have it appear up here. And yeah, why not? Appearance menu support. We do want this to be choosable, selectable from appearances menus. We want to be able to add it to the menu. And we do not want to exclude it from search. URLs. Here's where you can customize it. Do we want it in the feed? Not necessarily. Pagination support. Sure. Has an item archive that can be customized? Yes. This is part of, so WordPress by default with a post type will do this nice thing for us where, one way we could tackle this, we could add a page and then drop in a query loop block in that page and make that our archive. Or we could let WordPress handle it for us. And it's going to ask us if we want a custom slug, meaning that if we don't want it to be ghost gear, we could simply have it be gear or something like that. I'm happy with ghost gear, so we're going to leave that. And that slug just means like the archive page will be accessible through that. And right now it's going to show oops, but when we create this, that's going to change. We do want it to be publicly queryable so that a query within WordPress will fetch the information. Query variable support type. You know what? I don't know what that is. Access using the non-pretty permalink. Oh, okay. So it's going to treat it just like the regular post type treatment is with. Yeah, that's fine. Okay. No query variable support. I haven't played with that. I don't know. So we're going to move on. Permissions. Yeah, you can leave all that by default. I think this has to do with capabilities for users who can access things like that. Default capabilities of the post type will inherit the post capability. Yes. Okay. So yeah, leave that as is. REST API. We do want that checked because I do want. I think this helps. We'll have this option in custom fields as well. I think this helps GenerateBlocks pick up on the post and the field names as we're developing and doing our thing. Okay, so I think we're done. We're going to save. And we have a new post type up here, Ghost Gear. So if we go back here and refresh, now looky here, archives, Ghost Gear. Nothing found, can't seem to find. So it is another kind of default, there's nothing here page. But it's different now. It knows that this is an archive page for this Ghost Gear post type because we just created it. Okay, so now we can add fields. And I'm going to do it down here. When you do this, oh, what the heck? I'll do it down here. So when you do this, all it does, if you click this link, it will automatically select our Ghost Gear post type as the condition for these custom fields to show. But I want to show you manually. I want to do all this stuff. So let's go to field groups now. Let's add a new one. Oh, and what to name it? Ghost Gear data information, something like that. And we get all the way down here to settings and location rules. That's where we need to change it to a post type is equal to Ghost Gear. Now, if you remember from our last video, all this really does, two big things in our interface when we're in WordPress. Now, when we go to the Ghost Gear post type and add something new, it's going to include all these custom fields that we create for us to include data for that particular post that we're creating at that moment. But we can have this show up anywhere because to WordPress, this is just another meta field. It doesn't know what it's supposed to be associated with until we save it. And remember, one of those things that gets saved with is the post ID that it belongs to. And it can belong to any post ID. It can be fetched by that post ID using PHP. So this is making it appear in the interface when we go to add to the Ghost Gear post type. And it's assigning the ID of the Ghost Gear post that we create to the custom field value that we also create within that post. So yeah, it's like Inception. Okay, so what fields are we going to include? So we have a name for the post. That's the post title. We're sticking with the featured image, so it's going to keep the featured image. Why don't we include a brief summary? And it can just be a text field. So let's see. Item quick description. And okay, so when I'm doing field names, I do get kind of kooky about it. I like to prefix them. And I guess we can call this like GG for ghost gear. So this field name is how the data is fetched, whether you're using PHP or GenerateBlocks or whatever you might be using to get your data. And sometimes I'll keep it short like that. I think I'll go ahead and be a little more descriptive about it, or type it out. Yeah, so this is like I call it the variable name sometimes. It's the meta key that is used to fetch the information. And the meta value is the data that's actually stored with it. We don't need to give it a default value. Okay, validation. Let's make it required. We don't need to enter a character limit. For the presentation, we can include instructions, which will appear directly below the field. Never fiddled with this, so not going to go into it right now. Placeholder text is like, that kind of grayed out preview text that might give a suggestion as to what might be there. A piece of ghost bustin gear. And prepend, so we can have a prepend and an append. So like, maybe if this was a price for something, you might put that, and it would prefix it like this. It would appear exactly like that, and the append would make something appear at the end like that. So if you needed that kind of interface to kind of help your user understand what kind of data they were entering, you could include something like that. We don't need anything like that. So I'm going to delete that. Conditional logic. So if we only want this field to appear, like say if someone, there's a toggle or something that says, this is from Ghostbusters 2 only, or something like that. I don't know. Then you might have some additional fields that you'd want them to fill out and have them conditionally appear. I don't have any. Yeah, I just have one field right now. So maybe there's something we can come up with. I'm not sure. But again, I kind of want to keep this simple because it's more about the custom post type and our templating and that kind of thing. So yeah, that should take care of that one. What else do we want to include? We need a full description. So now we want the WYSIWYG editor. And I could use the content field, the editor area, instead of a custom field, but I don't want to because I want to restrict this to text. So call that full description, and we'll do GG full description. No default value. Validation, yes, it is required. Presentation. Okay, here with the WYSIWYG editor, kind of struggle with this sometimes. I don't want to show media buttons because I don't really want to inject pictures within the text or allow that. You can, but if you're going to go that route, you might leave it on the Gutenberg editor. You can also choose like a minimal editor experience. I think we can leave the full in visual and text because I want them to be able to switch to the text only view if need be. Oh, and the wrapper attributes. I forgot you can create columns, and we might, if I can come up with something. Did I mention that I'm doing this completely off the seat of my pants? By the seat of my pants, off the top of my head. Okay, and no conditional logic. So I think we can leave that one as is. What else? What else can we include? Maybe if there is a movie clip that features this piece of gear. So that would be a URL. We could also include an embed, include like the actual YouTube clip on the page. Yeah, we can see how that works. I'll be interested to see how that works with GenerateBlocks. I don't know that I've ever done that. So we'll do that. Let's see. The clip featuring this gear. G. We'll just keep it like that. It's got a nice embed size. Okay. This is not required in presentation. Is that enough? Is that enough to get started? Just to have some quick fun with this. I'm trying to think what else would we show. We have a picture of it. Ideally, if I was doing this for real, we might have a gallery that shows some more clips of it. I think maybe this is all we need for now, just to get the ball rolling. Some more tabs down here, so we can affect. Let's say we want this high because we don't have the content editor. You can also hide things here, but what we checked in the post type we created should handle all that. And group settings, show in REST API. That's important because we want GenerateBlocks to be able to see this, and it sees it by way of the API. Okay, presentation. You can also put field groups in the sidebar, which can be handy sometimes. No seamless. I like the meta box. That's kind of weird. Although I think categories, when you add stuff to taxonomies, it will appear in this kind of seamless style. Okay, I think we're good. Let's save this. Okay. So now the fun part, well, next to the fun part, we get to add some ghost gear. So I'm going to add one ghost gear item. Let's see, proton pack. Proton pack allows, let's see, is used to wrangle the ghost in preparation to trap. Sure, I should have looked up some information. Oh, one thing I can show you that I do to hide some of this extra stuff. For example, the layout stuff from GeneratePress. I'll show you that momentarily. I don't have a description. Hang on just a second. Wikipedia, baby. Okay, so it's got some references thrown in there. Let's get rid of that. Okay, and let's set our image. Maybe we'll look up the movie clips in a little bit. Okay, I do need to upload files. There we go. And we'll be good content editors and add alt text. Get rid of the title. Okay, so we can save this now. And let's see what our archive gives us. Oh, look at there. It does output the description. I guess some themes do that, and GeneratePress, of course, does. So our Proton Pack, and we even have a single view page, because most WordPress themes worth their salt. Is that an expression? Good WordPress themes include these, and so it's treating it just like a regular post, a blog post. But GeneratePress lets us go the extra mile, along with GenerateBlocks. Yeah. So archive view. See, the URL is Ghost Gear, and it even says archives Ghost Gear. And so that list view to WordPress is always an archive. That's just what they call it. And clicking it, now we're in single view. we're looking at an individual entry from the Ghost Gear custom post type. So we're going to use that feature / language that WordPress has to tackle that. Okay, let me show you one quick thing with the theme. So this is my child theme, and I have it in the themes folder, GeneratePress child. So my functions.php, which is required for any theme, functions.php and style.css. I think those are the only two required files for a child theme or anything. I think. And that might not be, well, never mind. That's for a different video. If I go all the way down here to the bottom, my functions, you can see I have these included files or required files, and I comment them out if I don't need them. But where I have one, okay, called GeneratePress, which is a little misleading because I use it for different things, but it is in the ink folder, and you can just put this stuff, like you don't need to require it as a separate file. This is like old housekeeping, and I need to update all this. What did I say? GeneratePress. Okay, so down here, this add meta boxes function, I think that's it. Yeah, I've already kind of gotten it set up. So this generate layout options, I can include, I've already got it set up to go. So I've got an array of excluded post types. So right now it just has post, but I can go in here and comma Ghost Gear to include that, save it, and let's go back here. Okay, there it is right there, and I don't need that. So my client who's editing the site doesn't need that either. It doesn't apply, and that hides it nicely. And that's been there for a long, or the what do you call that, a filter, or is that a hook? I can never remember. It's a hook. Okay. And then this also, the member CP, and I think, so that's a meta box. So I also use the members plugin just for controlling roles and what those roles can do. And I think I found this through the inspector. Yeah, that ID, member CP. So again, it doesn't show on the default post type. So let's add Ghost Gear as well. And this is what I mean, like this is not specific to GeneratePress, so it really shouldn't be in this GeneratePress file, but it was intended to be like customization stuff for GeneratePress, and it kind of grew into something else. So if I save that, okay, now that should go away as well. Yeah, okay, so now you're left with only the things you need. Yeah, we don't need slug because you can control that there, but that's a user preference thing. So anyway, let me go in and I'm going to add the rest of the items, and then we're going to go build the templates. We're already at 30 minutes. Holy cow. Okay, I'll be right back. Okay, so I'm wrapping up adding, I only have 3 things, but I was going to, for anyone who's never used the O embed field, it's pretty cool. So I've gone over here and I found a clip where they're using the trap. And I like to go to share and snag this little short link URL there. You come over here and paste it in, and it will give you a little preview snippet of the video. So I'm going to publish that and close that. So now we have some data entered, and now we can go create our post types. I'm sorry, create the layouts for our post types. So we have 2 layouts. We have the archive view, which I shall refresh, and we get some other entries here. And we have the single view, which I think is what WordPress calls it. So you have the archive view, the single view. We need both. And GeneratePress will let us do both, along with GenerateBlocks. So now we're going to go to elements. And you can see I have the team archive template, team member single template. So these are the same thing. So we're going to be using the loop template for the archive and the content template for the single view. All right. So let's create a new block because we want to be able to add generate blocks. So create. Okay. So first we're going to do the archive view. And I'm not sure how we're going to do it yet. Ghost gear archive template. That's really big. Okay. So first of all, I'm going to say for our location, we want to show only on the Ghost Gear archive. Okay, because remember that archive is our list view. And we're going to select the element type. We want to be loop template. Editor width 100% because I want this full area here. So we can simply go in and add the query block. And maybe we're going to start blank. And I like to have this open to see what the blazes I'm doing. So for that loop item, how do we want to do this? Let's drop in image. We want it to be a GenerateBlocks image. And let's go to block and let's click. So it's waiting for me to upload an image, but oh, you know what? I'm jumping the gun. For the query, it is a post query. We do not want it to be post. Okay, so here was the trick. We want it to inherit from the Ghost Gear archive. But if I remember right, it's not going to show us a preview from that post type. So let's, oh, and for anyone who doesn't know what I'm doing. So this is a GenerateBlocks image block, and I don't want to upload something or select something from the media library. I want it to be a dynamic inclusion. It's going to pull from that WordPress loop, that archive loop. So as it's looping through all of the posts we've included within the Ghost Gear post type, it's going to go through that first post, snag the featured image from it, go through the second post, snag the featured image, and each time it's going to grab that value and display it. So let's select featured image, yes, from the current post. Let's not do full size. Let's do medium. We do want the URL. It is required to render. I think that's cool. Yeah. We want it to be the URL. So let's see what it does. We get nothing. Okay. So let's go back here and let's fiddle with this a little bit. So let's not inherit. Let's select the Ghost Gear post type, and now let's see what happens. Okay, so now we get our preview images. Cool. So now I'm going to go ahead and check that again because I want it to inherit. But I think now it's going to stick that way, and it's going to know that we're looking at this stuff. Okay, so let's do a little styling. It should have some alt text included with it, or maybe I have to include it. I can't remember. We can deal with that later though. No sizes available because we've already picked a size. Okay. Advanced, there's all of our attribute fields. The alt is blank. So, key URL. I wish there was another little dynamic thing out to the side here to do that, but we can kind of guess. I say get, whoop, wrong button. I say guess. Key alt, and we don't need the size attribute. I think that will get it. And let's click OK. All right. No, we don't need overlay panels. Overlay panels are the bomb. I do want to style it a little bit. We're going to make it aspect ratio. We're going to make it square. 100%. So that medium size, let's do, can I make this a grid? Or is this the grid? Try not to use too many elements. So let's let's see if it'll let this be a grid. And we'll do something like that. Okay. But then we are going to do, let's do a container. And we're going to add a GenerateBlocks headline. And we're going to fill that value dynamically. Post title. Link to, yes, we can link to the post. And okay, so also here, I'm not really going to worry about, I really should, ARIA stuff, accessibility. We're going to have this one item linked, and that's how we're going to roll for right now. I do want to style it though, so that I don't want the funky underline. Yeah, none of that. You know what? We can change the color too. Or should we? Yeah, let's make it black. And let's go back to our loop item, which we've made into a grid. And let's do a nice, what kind of gap? So I have these. And that is not, or do I have these installed? Let me go back to my child theme. I can't remember. I don't. Okay. So we're not going to worry about that right now. Let's just make it 2 rem. And let's do the, this is not a grid. Could it be a grid? Let's keep it as one great big column. Okay, but let's do a row gap of 2 rem. Make it 3. Yeah, that'll work. Okay, just trying to set up something kind of basic here. And the idea is that this is a grid, which we can set spaces between, and it's going to respect that we have this one, I can't remember what FR stands for, but this one unit over here with the image to 3 that has our container with the content. So I'm going to now, now we can use the headline or the text, whatever. The idea is that we're going to add, we want this to be dynamic. So now we're going to add, post meta, sorry. Post meta, look there. It recognizes, we want that quick description. We're not going to link it to anything. Boom. All right, one more little thing here. Let's change our alignment to vertical. I guess we kind of like it that way. Again, we're not necessarily trying to win any design awards here. We're just trying to get something up and running. So let's publish that and see how it looks. Let's see what it does. Oh, that's the individual view. Okay. That is cool. No big deal. So, but what happened is we have no overall heading. for the post type. Okay, it does link through to the individual. So our archive page is coming together. Let's just snazz it up just a teeny bit. Let's do like 3, just round it off a little. Take that edge off. That's a little big, but it's okay. It's all right. Let's look here. So back at our loop template, and I think I lost something. So let's see. Let's say that again. I'm going to refresh this because I think there's an option down here that's not showing, and that I don't know why that happens. I may be wrong. I think I'm wrong. Yep, I'm wrong. So we can change the layout as well of the page, and I'll show you that. We're going to keep what we're going with here, and we're going to add above that query. We're going to add another headline. We're going to make it an H1 and do that dynamic and do archive title. And then beneath that, let's do that. And we're going to make that the archive description. And I think that will give us back the archive label. Ghost gear, a list of ghost busting gear. Okay, so that's not super ideal, but we can add a little space. Yeah, we'll just do it with this. Sometimes I like to add the WordPress spacer block, but man, we can just go in here and add a little rim spacing, maybe 4. Okay. Whoa, did I do it to the wrong thing? Did I do, what the heck? Archive description, why did it do that? Oh, do you see what happened? So that is a paragraph tag, and the description already has a paragraph, so it bumped it out of it. Yeah. So you can't have a paragraph within a paragraph. So if we change this to a div, I think that will fix our problems. And it did. Okay, so that is now a div with paragraph inside. Okay, so that's better. I can live with that. Okay, so now we have our nice little archive listing. Okay, no code. GeneratePress elements has let us do that. Again, this is a loop template. Let me say that one more time, and we're going to jump out. And I even get previews. That's nice. Let's jump out. And yeah, so I was going to show you also, sometimes I have layouts. So you probably know this, but so you can use the layout to specify whether you have sidebars, whether you're including the footer, whether you want to hide certain elements, whether you want the content to be full width, or you want to change the width, or contain with no padding. So I can say ghost gear archive layout, and I can go back to ghost gear archive. So it'll only apply to that page, and I can include some notes or something. Just for me, it's internal. And if I publish, I think, didn't I change content? Yeah. So now we're going to lose this spacing on either side, and it's going to change to full width. So then I can go in and, like, say if I had my own container blocks with my padding and margin and all that kind of stuff, I could apply them there, but I'm not gonna do that. Yeah, so I'm just gonna switch this to draft. So it'll disable it. I can come back to it later if I need to. But I'm totally good with the default layout. Okay, so now let's create this page. Okay, so now we need the single view. So we're gonna create another element, and it'll be a block. But this time, Ghost Gear single template. We're gonna go pick content template, not loop template. That's the archive template. Now we want the single view, which is a content template. Okay, here we go. We can keep the default post container. We can pick from templates, which mainly apply to a default post type. The tag name that is surrounding this piece of content will be called article. So let's keep all that and let's see what we look like. And let's change the editor width to not 896. I don't know why it does that. Just 100%. Okay, and now we want Ghost Gear, just Ghost Gear. And it's going to ask us, all Ghost Gear. Do you want it to apply it only to specific posts? And we want it to apply to all of them. Okay, so let's go ahead and publish that and let's see what it does. Let's see what we're left with. Okay, so if I refresh, okay, so nothing, absolutely nothing. But let's take a look at the code because we asked to keep that default block. Let's see, so site content, I think it's content area. Oh, gosh, yeah, okay, so we have this article, dynamic content, Ghost Gear, type. Okay, so it's going to put everything within this inside article if we use this. Now let's take a look at what if we don't keep that, because I honestly can't remember. I don't, okay, what was the difference? Okay, I totally missed that. Love the news. Sometimes. Okay. Let's check that again. Let's save. So here is before and then after. What was different? Oh, wait. So just that inside article. Okay. Okay. We're going to keep the default. I don't know. I don't know. So let's start building something. Okay, so let's do a container. And we're going to make it, yeah, we're going to do like a side-by-side view. I kind of like that. Let's make this a grid. And we can leave all that default, I think. Grid layout. Let's do just half and half, side by side. Let's do column gap. Move. Let's do 3. Let's make it kind of big. And we switch to mobile, which I'm not going to worry with the mobile layout. Okay, do we want the image first? I'm thinking maybe, yeah. Yeah, we can do full. render. Okay, here we get no preview. We get no preview because you don't need a query block now because it's going to inherit. Yep. Okay. Also, back in the old days, we do want this to be an H1. I guess I was doing, you'd code it up, click save, go to the browser, refresh, see how it looked, and you just go back and forth until you get it the way you want it. I guess this is no different. You know what? Let's put that in a container because I want all my things to be in that same grid column. So the image is one piece of that grid layout, and then this container is like my content piece of that grid layout. And I'll often go in and rename that kind of thing. Just make it helpful. And after, I really need to use my keyboard shortcuts more. So text, let's make this a div because we're going to tie it to post meta. Oh, yeah. So it doesn't, what did I call it? GG full description. So no link, add. Yeah, this does make it a little trickier. Let's save this. Let's see what we get. Okay. So we get a funky little image of various croppings, and we get our description out next to it. And, for the most part, this does the trick for us. This is what we're after. So we have list view, single view. And so in the single view, you do not need a query block because we've told this to be a content template. Now, I wish there was a place to select, even though we've told it, get we're only going to show on the Ghost Gear page, but we could make this. We could use this for as many post types as we want. We could make it show for. I'm not going to go there. We're already going long enough. We're almost at an hour. But yeah, you could use this for as many post types as you want just by assigning it. So you don't need a query block. The problem is there's no way to preview anything because GeneratePress / blocks neither are aware of the post content that we're including. I don't know if I could include a query block to fix that, or if that would totally botch things up because there's already a loop happening. Well, again, I kind of jumped in here and I do this all the time, but I just forgotten that this is what it does, and I'm just used to it. It doesn't bother me. I'm totally fine dropping in these things and adding the field values and refreshing and like, does this look good? Sure. And going back and tweaking. So I'm gonna add my, I didn't see if the alt worked. I thought it did. Where's my borders? Let's do like my little 3-pixel thingy. And we need to include let's add a wrapper around that as well. And let's call this media, because after the image, we're going to add an optional block for our embed for our OAuth. And now that I'm doing it, I'm honestly struggling. Like, how do I include it? Can I do text? I'm not sure. Let's see what happens. We do want this to be a div. You know what? I'm gonna open this in a new tab. Show you like the trick I use when I'm trying to remember or fetch my custom fields for something that's not showing me the data. So I can just come in and you can click this and it'll copy that name for you. So let's go back here now. We're going to select post meta. If that meta key, I'm going to paste that in there. I'm going to paste that in there. There it goes. Okay. I'm not sure what it's going to do. Let's see. I know we're going to need a little bit of spacing. I guess we can make that a grid or flex box as well. We can do a flex and make it a, where is that? Is that in the layout? Flex layout. Make it a column. Row gap, 2 rim, and a little space between it. That might be a good video too. Somebody's probably done that. Like, once you use a grid versus flexbox, what are they? I mean, I think I kind of know, but okay, let's see what happens here. No. Oh, I think I have a content security policy running that is probably, yeah, okay. So, little sidebar. I did this in another video, but I have a content security policy that prohibits some of this stuff from displaying from other links. Wait, what did it say? YouTube from default source. Frame source. Yeah, we can do that. So let's do content source. Let's add a frame source. Frame source. And we're going to do, what? Crazy code suggestions. Okay. Self by default. And yes. Was it www? Yeah. I may need to add more. Okay, let's save that and let's see. Let's refresh. Let's do a hard refresh. And it may come up with another one because I think once YouTube gets into the video, there are other things it needs to do. No, it worked. Oh, that's so awesome. That's so awesome. So it's just a text block. Yeah. I don't know if I can play that video in here, if it'll, what's it called? It'll flag it. But anyway, yeah, include that. So let's see if I do, what, this one does not have a video. So let's see what it rendered. Oh, it didn't render anything. Nice. Okay. That's cool. Okay. Sweet. That's cool. And I may have done that before, but I don't know. I don't remember. So that's the coolness of the embed field. So that is kind of it. That's the essence of it. Now, there are other things we could do, like, I don't know if you can add, I haven't attempted this, like forward and or previous next posts. Yeah. I haven't even crossed that bridge. What I normally do is just add a link down below. We'll do a container, and let's see, after this grid, we're going to give it a little space for rim. And in this container, I'll put a button, and we'll give it maybe a secondary. Get rid of the extra styles, and back to all ghost gear, something like that. And maybe we'll center it. And we'll link it to I thought it would pull up. Seriously? I thought it would pull up the archive link. Okay, we can add it manually. That kind of stinks. Yeah, I'll do something like that. Don't want that. Those extraneous paragraph locks. And so you can, it's just common sense user interface kind of stuff. They get to the bottom of that, they can go back to the archive page. Now, just to show you one other quick thing that you're going to get, like say when you're modifying your menu, because we chose in our post type to include this in the menu and include an archive, we can include that link here. And it's going to call it archives, and we don't want that, but we can change that. So I'm going to get rid of archives. I don't like that. And did I save it? I saved it. It's saving. Okay. And refresh. And now we get Ghost Gear. We have our old team, and we have Ghost Gear. Ghost Trap should have a video too. Yeah. That's one of my favorite scenes. The flowers are still standing. So I think over an hour is long enough. I'm going to leave it here. This was some good progress, and maybe in the next video, I do want to look at some other ways to do this, and even maybe get into some PHP. That you can either use some nice hooks that GeneratePress gives you, or I think you can tap into the content filter. I'll have to remind myself, and we'll look at the template hierarchy and see how that's affected. But I hope this helps. I hope you've enjoyed this. I hope it's not too long. I think it was in depth enough, at least just for GeneratePress and GenerateBlocks. I still have some questions. Like now, I want to know: is there a way to add next previous? Because that's a default feature, I think, within the block, the default posts layout. I don't know. I'll have to look that up. Maybe that's for the next video. So please like, subscribe, all that good stuff. If you enjoyed this, feel free to leave comments. Let me know some other things you'd like to see. Do you have any questions about this? Did I forget anything? I don't know. Was it thorough enough? Was it too thorough? Does it have gaps in it? Let me know. And yeah, we'll go down that road together and try to fill in any holes there may be. But enjoy this. Go build something cool. And I guess I'll see you guys next week. Thank you very much.